Hey, how's it
Hey,
going,
there he
man?
is.
I'm going to move to
Good,
this
good,
side
good.
because I want to be on that side.
Well, also my name on my deal says I'm the taste bud guy on the right. So
Oh, well, there you go. Hey, guys,
yeah,
we are at home again this week because the weather is bad and the studio is freezing cold, and we didn't want to be there. So, Chris, are you already frozen? Or is it me? Someone's frozen. Okay, in case it's not me that's frozen. Hey, there you are. Now you're moving again.
got me. It's the first time that's happened.
Yeah, so we're at home again. I don't know, we got a couple things to talk about tonight, but let's get started off correctly. Christopher,
Yeah.
what
Yes,
are
sir.
you drinking tonight?
Oh, what am I not drinking? I'm at home. I have lots of stuff. Currently, right this very second, I am drinking gin. Specific. There, that one. That gin. Anyhow, and then I've got some Rocktown gin there next to that. I've got a little tequila sitting behind me, some bourbon, and then I got a few beers over here as well. One of which was given to us by Great Escape, which I happen to have their shirt on because they give us this cool shirt.
Hey,
So-
you know what? So I'm drinking a little Cuervo Tradicional Reposado for a specific reason we'll mention later. Hey, Danny. But I am also drinking a Great Escape, and I also have a Great Escape t-shirt on.
You got the cool shirt too. I really like that shirt.
It's their Oktoberfest shirt, and yeah, it is a pretty snazzy shirt. I'll go ahead and throw this up there on the camera. I think you got the same one too. We both grabbed the IPA before we left today, the Woodscraft. Yeah, look at that, beautiful looking can.
Yeah, I'm gonna be opening that here in just a minute.
I am really craving a beer, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that started. Yeah, so we were going to have our buddy Patrick in the studio, correct, Chris?
Yeah, so Patrick from Up the Gut was actually going to come down from Kansas City and was going to hang out with us tonight. And then we had this giant snowstorm, and well, that didn't turn out the way we had hoped. So if everything works out, we're going to have him on next Monday night, and we're going to bump Jared yet again. Sorry, Jared, who is going to have a Sotol night with us, probably to the following Monday, assuming that works out for Jared, which I haven't talked to him about yet. So
Jared, we could have done it tonight, but Jared kicked this whole thing off of like, maybe we should just go home, right? Didn't Jared pretty much say like, I'm not getting out in this weather?
I believe his actual words were, "I'm not walking up there to the studio in this," because his truck sits about, I don't know, 2 or 3 inches off the ground or something. It's crazy.
See, for me, it's more danger of walking back from the studio than to the studio. From the studio. From's where I'm worried about. So.
It's a pretty beer. That's a pretty beer.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, my Big Glass. Big brewery out of over by Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
We haven't mentioned them guys in a long time, and we like them a lot.
They had one of the best coconut porters that I've ever had.
That one's really good.
So this is an IPA from Great Escape, 7% alcohol, ABV, 70 IBUs, and it says citrus, pine, and floral, and it kind of is. Oh yeah, I can turn myself up.
Oh, interesting. I actually told him to turn himself down. He's so loud in my headphones. I'll turn me down here.
All right,
for my ears down.
See if that's any better, Patrick.
Yeah, so actually this is the first time I've actually had the Woodscraft from them. I thought I had it, but I didn't. In my head, I was like, oh, I definitely had that. And then I seen the can, and I was like, no, I haven't had that. Yeah, it's aptly described.
Yeah, it's interesting to get the citrus notes. I mean, those are 3 flavor profiles in a beer that's kind of interesting to have, right? Like citrus, floral, and like a piney, woodsy note. I can think of multiple combinations of putting 2 of those together. but not all three. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's pretty good though. Ends up with a little bit of a I definitely anytime I can I'm like wow out. I definitely I like that. It's got a bit of a I keep wanting to say pineapple, but maybe pine is just the right way to end that with.
Yeah.
So,
anyways, pretty good stuff out of Springfield, Missouri. And
probably going to see a little bit of them on the next several live shows, just because they give us a couple 6 packs of beer to have on there. And of course, they give us these shirts, like we said. And then so we they're sort of unofficial sponsors when they do stuff like that for us. Several of the local breweries have, so we try to feature them on here. And then we've got a review of them coming up as well. So,
we've got a few Springfield stuff coming up. Okay, where do you want to start on these? We have some stuff to check out.
All right. Don't do the tequila one yet because I got to finish my gin, and then we'll get up to the tequila. So pick one of them other articles you've got there, and we'll go from there. I also have. Well, never mind. I'll get to it in a minute.
Let's start with this one because. Oh, wait a minute. I think.
Thanks for everybody that's joined us in the chat. I see a few first timers. Andy, friend of mine, also co-worker, used to also work with Patrick too. Glad to see you in there, and Danny, glad you're back, and thank you guys for all showing up tonight. Hope everybody's warm.
Yes. So, Chris, do you remember a few years ago, Budweiser started running some ads that were basically saying if you drink craft beer that you're just a pansy and a hipster.
We've had the same recipe for 150 years.
Yeah,
there's no reason to change perfection. Yeah, which was total BS.
Right. So, and it was hypocritical at the same time. They're buying up craft breweries and trying to pass them off as no, they're totally still craft, but we want to do all this stuff. So, here's an interesting thing. So apparently Jim Beam has taken the same tact here, and sort of, I don't know. I was trying to actually find the actual thing where this came from, the actual ad. Is
this one of the articles that Colby had sent us?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So I read
it, a few of those,
but then I didn't actually see the actual ad, but apparently Jim Beam's taking the same tact. Oh wait, no, that's a different one. Anyway, I don't know. I think it's interesting that that they might be going that direction because, as we well know, Beam and Bud had that copper lager, right?
Yeah,
it's pretty damn good. So I don't know. It's just always a weird thing when those big breweries and distilleries take swipes at the little guys.
I wonder how much control they still. So Beam, not being a little guy, was bought up by an even bigger guy when Suntory got him.
Right.
So I wonder how much of that is Suntory doing projects and how much of that is Beam. I don't know what their control is anymore. But I can tell you this: they've gotten off into this. This is so great. We had this crossover. They've gotten off into other things such as candy because look at this my little chocolate for tonight.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I had 48 of these, and then I got to eat 4 of them, and then my dog got into the rest of them. There's 10 left, so I'm not sure if he's going to live or not because I'm like, holy crap, that's a lot of chocolate and alcohol for a dog.
Was that today?
No, it's a couple days ago.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it feels like that would have been a 12-hour under situation in my mind. So, okay. So
well, he ain't gonna come up here. You don't want to see, but
so here's
there's Gerald.
Who Gerald?
Yeah,
beautiful.
He's done. He's bored already. So.
Okay, so I'm going to share this other thing here because I think I found where that article was going.
Hey, in case you missed it though, this is filled full of Jim Beam bourbon.
Yeah, so it's like a chocolate with bourbon in it.
Yep.
Yeah, buddy. Nothing wrong with that. I'd take that. So I think that this is maybe what they were like going after, right? Is that they're trying to do more this canned cocktails, right?
Okay.
And they're basically saying like, hey, like, your craft beer is like boring because it's always something crazy and frou-frou and which is not necessarily wrong. I do think that craft breweries, they do too much too often,
So another interesting thing that's kind of a little, it leaked. Interesting little crossover is Patrick, when he was coming down, he just got some of the Jim Beam canned cocktails, which is basically bourbon and Coke in a can, pre-made. And he was going to bring some of those down. So maybe we'll get one of those on the show and try. I'm not much on mixing my whiskey like that, but I'll definitely try it with you guys and see what happens. So,
yeah, Russ. This is I think we did an episode, right, on the copper lager and one on the black lager too, right? Did we do one on the black lager?
Yeah. I don't know. We've drank them both. I don't know if we did an episode.
Yeah, I think the copper lager is better than the black from what I remember. But yeah, one of the things we loved about it is that like when we were
per the distributor, we better quantify this. Who knows? Because while we're I'll come back to it. Go ahead and finish your story.
I assume you know what I'm getting into, which is the staves. So like a big brewery like that doesn't have the ability to like barrel age that much beer, right? Like truly barrel age it. So the story that we heard is that they literally just like split open the barrels, use Jim Beam barrels, split them open, and just chuck the staves in with the beer. So they aged the staves in Budweiser beer instead of beer in Beam barrels. Just
too big. So another thing that's interesting that Beam come up is Geralt, get back on my beer. I think my dog's addicted. Anyways, another thing that was interesting. It's interesting. So he's a dick. He still has chocolate on the side of his face from 2 days ago. I'm like, no, I'm not cleaning that off. You're just gonna wear that. Anyhow, somebody in our 1783 Evan Williams episode, we had said something about a fire that their warehouse had. Yeah. And since then, we misspoke. Jim Beam is the one that had the fire, not Evan Williams. And I think about every third or fourth person that watches that episode has to make that comment. I'm like, hey, you guys can just read the comment. And
you're saying we made a mistake in an episode? We didn't do our research and just talked out of our ass?
Just talked out of our ass. It's 100% accurate.
Never.
So
yeah. Let's see. So I don't know. I don't know. I get weird with the big guys because like I think that article even like mentioned it. That you can pretty much always count. They're like McDonald's. You can always count on it being exactly what you think it's gonna be, right? And that's worth something for sure. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, again, how many times we went back to Evan Williams and Jim Beam, for that matter. There's a couple Jim Beams we really, really like. Their Evan Williams across the board has been just really good for us. So, I mean, there's nothing necessarily wrong with it. We pick on Budweiser a lot, but you know what? If you like a super clean lager or a Pilsner, I guess, then that's fine if that's what you like. Yeah. Our whole thing was always just try something different. Make sure that's the one that you like, and then go from there.
I think they where was I? Oh,
you know what?
Train of thought.
Here, I'll make case in point. This came up the other day. Was at a very fancy restaurant for Valentine's.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying I haven't had better gins. I'm not saying there isn't better gins, but I've tried several. This is one of my favorite gins, especially for making a drink out of. It's maybe not the best drinking straight, but it's for making a drink out of. I really, really like it. I've tried several ones. This is one of the cheapest gins you can buy.
Yeah.
But I still go back to it. It's one of the big guys, but it's good. It's quality. It's what I like. But I can tell you definitively the difference between it and Hendrix and Bombay and several others, and can tell you this is the one I actually like to drink. So it happens.
Sorry, there's tractors driving down my road.
There's no tractors driving down my road that I know of.
Unfortunately, they're not scraping the streets. They're just feeding, I think.
Yeah.
But all right. So, are you through with your gin after your gin spiel?
Yes.
Okay.
I was actually going to do the barrel-aged gin next, but I guess you're wanting to move on to tequila. Sorry, this is backwards to me.
Well, no, I can pause on tequila.
Oh,
It's up to you. It's up to you.
Well, it doesn't matter. I have a different glass for tequila. Gin
I'm
glass.
jealous of your
Tequila glass. Beer glass.
I'm jealous jealous that of your tequila selection back there.
My tequila selection is basically one of the cheapest bottles we have and one of the better, I won't say higher end, but higher end that we've had. So
I think so. Okay, let's see. Let's go to. So we're all from Missouri. And
I'm going to show this one off, Lyle, just because I know we've brought them up on the screen so many times, but we've never had this one on. And Rocktown also makes a barrel-aged gin.
Is that your first barrel-aged gin, or have you?
Oh, this is the only barrel-aged. Well, no, I've had this bottle for a while. Technically, it's Morgan's bottle.
Okay.
But the only other barrel-aged gin I've ever had is the one I had from Emerald Distillery.
Okay, and then we got that other one at the studio that we haven't opened, right?
Yeah.
So you're telling I've never had a barrel-aged gin, and what I hear you saying is that we have 3 in our possession at the moment.
Maybe 4, but yeah, definitely 3.
Cool. I'm in. Let's try it. What is the difference between a barrel? Well, now I'm interested in the barrel-aged gin. So, like, flavor-wise, like I tend to think of gin as like sharp and punchy, big, heavy juniper notes, obviously, and then basically either going a more earthy route or more floral, botanical route.
Okay, the difference between the one I'm drinking right now and the one I was drinking last week is the one that I drank last week was all tannin and oak. And the reason I didn't bring that one back, that's the one I didn't bring back. No, I did bring that one back. Sorry,
back. Yeah,
I did bring that back. It's got so much wood in it that it really takes over the flavor profile of the drink.
The gin.
This one is spicy and hot, and the wood. I'm not sure how much I want to say the wood's adding to it. I sort of think this may be a used bourbon barrel that they did it in, because it seems to be sweeter and it's not got the high wood notes. There's more of a char flavor to it.
Man. Okay.
In fact, I'd almost guarantee it now that I'm thinking about it more. So, anyways.
I think I heard recently that there was like, in a used whiskey barrel, there can be up to a gallon of whiskey is sitting in the wood.
Yeah, maybe me and you both heard that.
Yeah, that's insane. Okay, well, so what I was getting at before I got distracted with that is something we've kind of done on the show that's about to come out. I think our review's coming out soon, right?
You've lost me. You buried the lead on this. I don't know what you're talking about.
A pickle. A wicked pickle.
Which pickle? Okay, wicked pickle. All right.
Oh yeah, we do have two pickles in the bank ready that are like.
We've done 3 pickled things.
3?
4.
4? What? Okay, wicked pickle, fuzzy pickles goza. What else?
What was okay? Danny's pickle.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Okay, and then 2 from Dallas, the barrel aged and the other one. I forgot about the fuzzy goza. So 5.
Barrel aged from Dallas.
The barrel aged pickle, best made.
Oh yeah.
And then the non-best, then the non-barrel aged beer.
Yeah, but we've done the best made. It's already out.
Yeah, both best
out in public.
So,
gotcha. All right.
But there's been 5. So you say pickle, there's a lot going there.
I like pickles.
I do too.
So the Wicked Pickle, which I kind of been hankering for a little bit again. They're made by McCormick, right?
Yes,
Out of
correct.
out of Weston, Missouri, and apparently McCormick has another project up their sleeves, from what I understand. So Holiday Distillery. I don't know how old these guys are. I guess I check their website out here in a second. But they used to make these, I think, like kind of kitschy, touristy type whiskey decanters, right? Have you seen them? You know what I'm talking about? Like
I don't.
Mostly having to do with like Elvis, apparently. Anyway, that used to be the thing. Apparently, was making Elvis ceramic decanters. And
guys, keep commenting in the comments. We're going to come back to these. Russ, I see yours down there, and we'll drop back and get some when we get through these articles.
Absolutely. So apparently this company used to make some like well, I don't know how to say it, just like not great looking stuff. Right? I mean, like,
so now they're valuable.
Well, not, I don't know, maybe. I guess the real thing is that they were like a true blue distillery. And it's the place kind of sat vacant for a while, but McCormick Brands owned the place or whatever, and they almost tore the storehouse down. But look at this thing. Look at this picture. I don't know if I can zoom in here. It's a
like it's sitting on a golf course.
Right. Yeah, they said they almost tore it down because of the insurance on it. But it's a 7-story whiskey storehouse that sits near a spring or on a spring. And so apparently it's like on par with some of the, like, you know, stuff with coming out of Kentucky. So I don't know if it looks like they're getting ready to kind of release some of this stuff. They've been storing whiskey in there for a while now, it looks like.
That's a gorgeous building.
Isn't that killer? Yeah.
I love it. I love it. What part of the Missouri is that from?
Weston, Missouri. That's where where Wicked Pickle. It's the same company. And McCormick makes several things.
I wouldn't mind going up there and trying that, checking it out.
Yeah. So looks like the everything sat empty in the warehouse until 2015. So they've been going for 5-6 years.
What country music star is that?
I don't know. It does look like a country.
He absolutely looks like he should be having an album somewhere.
Right? Harris. I think it must be someone that works for the company. I should have read this article. I read some of this thing. It's a long one.
No, we don't do research. I think we've established that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, maybe he has an album. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he just has a whiskey. Who knows? Anyway, all that to say, we've had a couple things from McCormick, and we're kind of like looking forward to doing some more stuff, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So the Wicked Pickle, Danny said there at the end, he said it was not bad at all. He come in and done some tastings of it. Jared's had tastings of it.
Yeah.
Patrick's about to have some tastings of it. It is pretty interesting. That one, assuming everything goes smooth, that episode will be up Thursday, which will recap all that before the end here. But it's pretty interesting. I would recommend giving it a shot for the $15 to $18 it's going to cost you.
Yeah. Yeah, especially for a Bloody Mary, right?
I haven't tried it yet, but I think so.
Yeah, buddy.
I kind of wish I had it, because I had some Bloody Mary mix in the refrigerator a while ago, and I was like, oh, man, a Bloody Mary would be good tonight, but we already got a lot of drinking to do. So.
Yep.
Which is infinitely less than what the drinking we was going to have to do was.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, Patrick was bringing down a load of whiskey.
7 plus a beer plus the Jim Beam canned cocktail, so like 9.
So throwback to the road trip, right?
We did 12 that night. plus
Oh,
plus a brewery that we didn't review.
that's fair. That's fair. Let me throw this comment
All
from
right, I made
Russ
it
up.
through gin.
And Russ, by the way, I think we owe you some stickers and coasters and glasses and stuff. Is that
We
correct?
do. We do,
Actually,
and I haven't had a chance to sit down with you and
but
go
we
through
do
all
have, we did get your name up on this bottle right here on the top shelf. So,
that. Mm-hmm.
so
And
you did get
Danny's got a bottle. Jared's got a bottle.
here, I can take, who's on the bottom shelf there? Who do we, let's see here.
I can't see. Albie's down there, and I can't. Tyler.
Oh, yeah.
How did we forget Tyler of all people? You'd think we would never forget him, but anyways.
And Rick, our good friend Rick, who joined Patreon just so he could see the content behind the paywall.
Which we could have just invited him to do, but
he's like, that's the only way I could see it. And I'm like, well.
hey, here's I want to think to say about that wall. And Danny, I hope you don't mind that we did this. We just snatched one of your bottles up off of your. Well, we took a picture of the one we had, and then blanked the label and used your bottle and your logo for your bottle. And I hope you don't mind, but we think it looks really cool. So.
Back to Russ's comment, seeing a dip in profit because craft distillers are flooding the market. I think you're right. There are so many boutique whiskeys. We were at International Wine Center, the Brown Derby up in Springfield, Missouri, which has a pretty good selection of stuff. Actually, I don't know if you were with me, or I think it was maybe just me. Anyways, I was just, anytime I go into
Gotta finish the story. I don't know.
I go and I peruse the booze selection, right? And so I'm standing there looking at bourbons, and like a lot of times when we see someone just standing there staring at bottles, we go, "What are you looking for?" Right? And
because we work there or something.
Well, yeah, but you're just kind of like, hey, like maybe you can enlighten me, maybe we can enlighten them. You know, it's like it's a back and forth kind of thing. And so so I'm sitting there, I'm looking at some whiskey, and this lady's sitting there, and she's doing the same thing I'm doing. And I was like, hey, like, what are you leaning towards? What are you looking at? Oh no, was that right? No, I think she asked me what I was looking for. I think that's what it was. I'll get to the point.
I haven't even decided if I've been there yet, so keep talking.
Long story short, on this thing, she was trying to give me advice on bourbons and whiskey. She was like, have you had this one? And I was like, yeah. Have you had this one? Have you had this one? Have you had this one? I'm like, yeah. All this stuff. And so we got to talking about bourbons, and I was like, hey, you know, the stuff coming out of Texas right now is just like insane. Really, really good whiskey coming out of Texas. And she was like, yeah, it's all right. It's okay, I guess. And I was like, what? No, it's like there's legitimate, really good stuff coming out of Texas. Kentucky's great. There's good stuff out of Kentucky all day long, but like Texas, I think, is really doing some stuff right now. Anyway, long story short, she was from Lexington, so.
So did she take your advice?
No, she didn't take my advice. No, she was from Louisville, not Lexington, but enough. Yeah, she was.
I'll give Texas is giving everything a run for the money right now. It's my opinion. So
I think so. Although I will say, if you like those really smooth whiskeys, I think that Kentucky may have your number.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not saying anything about Kentucky. I'm just saying Texas is worth a trip. You need to take a look at what they've got. Don't write them off because they ain't Kentucky. They've got some pretty unique stuff that's worth your time. And apparently,
don't write off Missouri with this holiday coming out from McCormick. I'm anxious to try some of that.
We'll be finding out then, I hope.
Yeah.
Watch out.
I just broke my chair.
How much have you had to drink, Well, all right, let's get to this tequila thing.
Okay, you ready? All right.
I'm ready. I have not read this. I just want to know what it is. Top 10 tequila.
I glanced over this. Where is it? There it goes. Not just top 10 tequilas in 2021, the top 10 cheap tequilas in 2021. Let me make sure I'm at the top of the list. I am, and here we go. All right.
Boom.
So, these are cheap. let's see. What's
Is that Espolon? It is Espolon.
So everything in here is less than $50 a bottle. So I'm gonna go on a limb.
Okay, is this? Are we starting? Is this number 1 like the best, or is this number 10?
This is best.
Or
overall.
is there an order?
Best overall.
Okay,
so
I haven't had that one, but I have had Espolon. I will not argue with this. I think they're a fantastic tequila for the money.
Yeah, I haven't had the Blanco, but we have the Repo at the studio, and I think personally, I think the Añejo is where it's at for the price point, especially. It's like $35 a bottle.
Are all these Blancos we're looking at?
No, they're not.
Well, then why the hell didn't they put their Reposado is under $50?
Well, I'm going to tell you why they didn't get the best Reposado. But first, we're going to go to the best Blanco.
All right.
Corazon. Now, I have
Really?
not had this. You've had this.
Not the Blanco. Right? Not the Blanco. I've had the Reposado. Actually, I had it for the Super Bowl. It's very unlucky.
Yeah, apparently. At least for Kansas City.
Don't drink that if you want your team to win.
So that's the best Blanco. Now here's why Espolon wasn't in the best Repo. And I actually don't think the Repo is... It's fine. It's good. Very good. But there are better ones, and this article just nailed it.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
Cazadores
is... Oh, so good. So good for the money.
See, now that's one that you like better than I do. I went back to it, and I can't quite love it the way you and Colby do.
I just think that I think for the price point, it's really, really good.
It's good. I'm not taking anything away from it.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I also want to preface that, like, $50 or under for a bottle of tequila is not necessarily, like, cheap for me. That's not what I would consider.
No, they should have done some like 30 and under.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard to find a decent tequila under 20, but yeah, 30 I feel like is
30 is your bargain bin, your entry level tequila. At 25 you're starting to get cheap. I'd have took Espolon over Cazadores though.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
But would you have thrown that Cabo in there? That Cabo Reposado?
Wouldn't even have made the list.
Even on the budget. Yeah. And that thing's like
no
$80 a bottle? The Cabo Reposado?
No, it's about 40.
Is it only 40?
Yeah. And it's overpriced.
Yeah, yeah. I do.
Yeah.
I do
no, it's not worth it.
Yeah. All right. Best Añejo. I see it back on your shelf.
No shit. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm drinking right now. Awesome. Yeah. Totally unplanned. I agree 100%.
Yeah. This is a hell of a deal. El Jimador runs pretty cheap, doesn't it? And like
less than $25.
Yeah. Just killer. Yeah. It's a tequila you don't mind drinking neat, and you don't mind mixing at all, right?
And it looks like a vignole in your glass, and everybody thinks, oh, he's drinking wine. Nah, he's drinking tequila.
Best sipping tequila.
Love it. That is the tequila. Okay, so I'll tell you how I started really liking tequila again. I was on a float trip about 6-7 years ago. Mm-hmm. My boss, several of his friends, we'd all stopped at the liquor store before we went there. I wasn't heavy into drinking yet. And they filled some flasks up with some bourbon. Somebody filled one up full of tequila. Took off down the river. We was all sitting around smoking cigars, and someone cracked that open and passed that around there. And I'm like, I like tequila. I was thinking literally Cuervo, you know.
Yeah.
That, for me, for the first time I ever had it, that was just the smoothest, nicest thing. You know, it was better than Patron. That was just really hit the spot. Now, there's a little sentimental value goes along with that, but I loved it. Anyhow, point being, after that float trip went over a week or two later, I messaged my boss, and I'm like, hey, can you find out what it is that Bob brought on that trip with us? And he sent me a link to it. And from then on, I forever I kept a bottle of this until I started getting into some other stuff that I think is also very worth the money. And I could name a silver or two that I think probably is, well, not probably, is 100% better than that, and absolutely as cheap. I'm thinking of Terramana. I'm thinking, is number one? Is it under 50? It is, ain't it?
I think it's right at 50.
Okay, so if you consider that one, I would say number one. I'd also say Terramana. Those are as good as that Milagro Silver, but that Milagro has an absolute place. And Andy is in the comments, and I'll come back to him in a minute, but he bought a bottle of the Milagro, I think Añejo, or maybe the Reposado, and we'll have to see what he thought of it. So sorry, go ahead.
So is silver, I'm looking this up. I think it is. Okay. I had a question. Is silver the same thing as Blanco?
No, it's not supposed to be.
It's maybe not supposed to, but this is at least where I'm at right now. Silver tequila.
Okay, so silver.
Blanco.
Well, then they're referring to it wrong. Okay, silver is the same thing as gold. It is a mixto terminology, meaning it's not necessarily 100% blue agave. So if they're calling it silver, they're shortchanging themselves if it's not truly a silver. So basically what you want is a Blanco.
Okay, so Blanco means it's all agave.
All agave.
Or at least like it meets the standards of tequila. Is not tequila have to be 100% agave, right?
It has 100% blue agave.
Blue agave, okay.
Blue agave.
Which we got schooled in the comments section on agave.
We should pull that. I don't even know if you can, but that's, well, it's just too long to read anyways. But anyways, go to...
it was on the Casamigos Mezcal episode.
It was a girl. Yeah, her name was Jules G, and I'm wondering if I know her.
She schooled us on tequila.
100%, yeah.
Well, on agave, which was awesome. Like, it was cool. Like, I think you replied to the comment, but I had the same thing. I was like, I don't know if you wrote this or you copied it.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. I don't know if you wrote it or pasted it, but it's awesome information.
Either way, 100%. It was great, yeah. All right, so we're assuming the Milagro is a mixed up.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think they was, but it seems like they might be.
Okay.
So.
All right. That's for margaritas. And I wouldn't have to...
this was pretty damn good.
I haven't
had the silver, but I mean...
Now see,
based on what I know about the other one,
it surprises me that Herradura would make it silver instead of Blanco. You think that's a mixed out still?
Here's what I think. I think they are modeling themselves.
Uh-oh. Chris, are you still there? I'm going to stay on, but I just want to zoom. I hope you guys are frozen on the same page I am, and that this is the picture that you're seeing right now. I hope that this is the freeze frame that you are watching. All right, I'm going to go on without him. Maybe he'll catch up here on his internet speed. We were just talking about internet speed. I live out in the boonies, and I managed to get in with this... company that's it basically runs off cell towers, and it's been fantastic. So, all right, best margaritas, best Paloma, which is like a grapefruit tequila cocktail, right? From what I understand. Anyway, all right, looks like Chris booted himself out. I'm sure he will be back in, but. Here's what I really wanted to get to. Oh, I should save that for Chris. All right. Let's see if Chris joins back in. Let's get to some comments real quick, because that particular tequila he's very fond of. Chad, Añejo is the best. I totally used to agree. I'm getting real sweet on reposados, like pun intended. I think that... the repos are so approachable. Now I like bourbon, so like the Añejo with that like extra woodiness, I particularly enjoy. But I don't think that when I've tried to lean people towards an Añejo when they say they don't like tequila, it tend to not like them as well as I do. So I think repos are more approachable, but I agree with you. I love anejos. And you also said the Sincoro is delicious. Again, though, this one specifically, the anejo is good and it brings some woody notes, but that tequila is so caramel heavy that I think the wood does a disservice. The repo, in my opinion, beautiful. Let's see. Oh yeah, let's do some comments about Chris. I love it. Oh, here's the full comment. All in one thing. All in one thing. Thanks, Patrick. Yeah. So anejos. So we got into this because Don Julio 1942 was our like go-to tequila. And let's see, wait a minute. Oh, Chris his internet crashed. He's resetting the router, so he'll be back in a second. So the Don Julio 1942 is technically it's an anejo, but it's aged 2.5 years. And at 3 years, they can technically call it an extra anejo, and they could charge quite a bit more for it. So Blanco is everything, I want to say, up to 3 months, maybe. And then Repo is, right up to a year, I believe. And anejo is anything 1 to 3 years. That's my understanding of tequila aging. But anyway. Yes, the Repo Sincoro, I think, is better than the anejo, at least for the price difference. It kind of gets into that, like, if you're into Scotch or not, like the Balvenie 12-year double wood versus the Balvenie 14-year Caribbean cask. There's about a $30, $40 price difference, and the gain for it is just not there, not that much. So anyway, I'm gonna zip out of this article real quick until Chris gets back, because there's a couple tequilas that I want him to comment on. So, in the meantime, with Chris gone, Chris was in Georgia, Alabama last week, and he stopped in at John Emerald Distillery down there and brought some bottles back. You'll see those on the show soon. But he brought back this sixer of a stout. And I don't know what it's a very dark looking can, but a very cool looking can. It is boy, that's hard to read. Caribbean stout aged in rum barrels with coffee. All that to say, it sounds delicious. Jared, you know I got a bone to pick on that 14-year Caribbean cask. I like it. I really like it. I particularly hate it when I go to a restaurant or a bar and the bartender or waiter or waitress tries to upsell me on the 14-year. When I order the 12-year, and they go, oh, 12 year's good, but you should have you had the 14-year? You should really try the 14-year. And it's like, no, I don't want to pay the $6 extra for your scotch that's probably aerated too much anyway, and isn't that big of a thing. So, yeah. Rocks tequila. Man, I don't know. I'm so, like, not there with drinking tequila to begin with. Like, Colby is the guy that really introduced us to drinking tequila neat and going like, oh, there's some complex flavors here that is not just in shooting tequila. So I actually haven't had tequila on the rocks at all, but I could see that being pretty good. In my mind, that's got to be something either really sweet or really hot to like take that water down a little bit. Casadores might do the trick, I think. You give Terramana a 6. The Repo or the Blanco, they're supposedly coming out with an anejo. We've only had we've only had the Reposado, The Terramana Reposado from the Rock is, I think, pretty good for a budget tequila. The price point is absolutely beautiful, right? It's like $30 a bottle, 35, and for that, it's very good. Hey, there he is.
CenturyLink, everyone.
While you were gone, I poured myself a stout.
I'm going to here in just a second. I want to finish what you was asking about that silver, though. I think there's a good chance that a lot of those companies are call themselves silver just because the biggest well-known company, Jose Cuervo, does it, and they're probably just working off the recognition of going, everybody knows what a silver is, but not a Blanco.
I would not be surprised if that's true. It's easier to
I don't know.
It's easier to run on that brand recognition. All right, I specifically saved the rest of the article for you because here's the best.
Paloma, right?
Yep. Here's the best tequila and tonic, which I have not
been saying
had.
that for 5 years.
Mm-hmm. I think Sauza is a little hot and peppery for me, but
it is. But man, in a drink, it's perfect. It comes right through. It's perfect to mix with something.
So Chad was mentioning, what's your best go-to for tequila on the rocks? And I've never had tequila on the rocks.
Same. I don't know. I don't drink anything on the rocks. That would be a Colby question. If it come up, I would have to think he'd want something. I guess it depends how fast you drink. If you drink real fast, maybe a smooth tequila would go, but it'd be like drinking Irish whiskey or something. So I feel like you want something heavy with a lot of flavor, like a Herradura or something.
Okay, yeah, I was leaning towards something like that. I said something either really sweet or really spicy, right? Something with big flavor. All right, here's the best old-fashioned, which we have this, right? And we did an episode on the compo.
We got that. So I was shocked. We've had, if not the Blanco version, we've had the brand of like almost everything up there except for maybe the Paloma.
Yeah. And you're drinking one of them tonight, right?
I am, yeah.
Yeah. And then,
you drink?
Well, I'm drinking. Man,
it's almost like we knew. We didn't
What's
know.
That?
So it's almost like we knew, except we didn't know.
Well, I did glaze the article before, but
I did.
So this is I'm drinking the Reposado version of this. I think that for the price point, this stuff is just killer. And I say that specifically with the price point because it is like cheap. It is dirt cheap. What's a bottle of that run? Like $19, maybe?
Oh, yeah, like 18. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, just killer. Okay, I think that's about the end of
the back it up. Read the top of that article. It says, Jose Cuervo is probably best known name in tequila, mainly for its cheap mixto expression. But it does make an affordable 100% agave tequila as well, and they still silver.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Apparently that name's just for whatever.
Yeah. I think it's maybe interchangeable at this point, and that may be something that the tequila industry needs to go through, like whiskey did, where there's more designation between, like, exactly what does this mean, you know?
Okay, two things. One, I'm not going to get back in there and go get ice to try tequila on the rocks tonight, but I will, just to see. If you've got a suggestion as which tequila, I want to hear it. Two, you're the first person I heard say I'm a huge vodka guy. That is like the one thing I'm absolutely not in any way, shape, or form. Right. But I am interested. If somebody can show me a vodka and show me something about it that I haven't experienced, and I'm in. And I tried the vodka that I've got, but they don't do much for me yet.
We've only done one vodka on the show, right? The 20 grand that was aged in cognac.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even consider that vodka.
Yeah, it was all right. It was a little sweet, a little sticky. But yeah, I'm with you. There's got to be a world out there that I'm just not seeing. So, yeah.
Hey, Lyle, I'm just curious. Are you also doing
vodka tonic?
Are you? Oh, well, I've never tried that neither. So, but I don't like tonic water or anything. Lowry, are you wearing your pajamas for this episode? You kind of are, ain't you?
Yeah, hey. I got some sweats. Yeah. Yeah, buddy.
I was like, ain't no point putting on pants for this deal. Okay.
No, it's a snow day. We got comfy in the afternoon, yeah.
Lucky I even combed my hair.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, man. So, tell me about this brewery.
You poured a stout.
Yeah, I showed the can, and but it's pretty dark lettering. I can't hardly read the can, but it's from that brewery that you went to.
Red Clay Brewing in Alabama. It's actually in I can't even think of the name of the town now.
Opelika.
Yeah. Opelika, Alabama. All I can tell you is the guy that was bartending that name, his name was Michael, and he was pretty cool dude. And I tasted several different things that night. That's the one that I decided to bring back that they actually had canned. There was some others I liked better, but I think that one is a really good beer. Jared, I dropped you one off. I don't know if you've had a chance to try it or not, but
oh yeah, he already drank his.
Okay, good. Well,
I'm surprised you like it. It's more up my alley. It's a little thin on the body.
It is 100%, and I actually told him it was a good thing that I thought about it. I thought it was a hair thin, which is what brought me to his conversation about most of the beer that they have there is they don't use heavy malts.
Okay.
So even their IPAs and stuff is very thin. Their double IPA, very thin. They don't use malt heavy beers at all, which for me, I love malt. I want the heavy, chewy, thick
I know
beer.
that's your thing,
This is why one of the reasons I got that one is because I was pretty sure you would actually really enjoy it.
It's really good. It's thin on the body, but the big flavor bomb at the end is nice. Like it leaves you feeling like
I'm going to be spending some more time down that way. It sounds like work, and if I do, I'll get back down there, and maybe we can get maybe I'll do the next episode or next time I do a live or something. I'll do something from there and talk to it.
You may have to stash me and Jared in the back of your van.
We can do that. I don't care anything. I go down there and tell people what to do, not to anyways.
What do you
I drinking something I don't necessarily care for that much.
I love that beer from Four Hands.
Everybody but me does.
Peanut butter chocolate milk stout. Absence of light, yeah. Oh,
which I find it kind of crazy because it's not even that dark, but it's dark enough, I guess. Definitely not heavy bodied. Now, if it was, I would have liked it more. So,
yeah, it's also a little thin on the body.
But here's how I'm going to fix it.
You're going to drop them in?
No, hell no. I'm just going to eat them. I was just dropping the drink, dumbass.
I was like, well, I don't know, man. It feels messy.
It would be. I'm going to wash some dishes. All right.
Oh, man.
So, sorry about the drop again. Anyways, we're back. Okay, are you caught up on comments, or is there stuff we've got to go back to?
I don't know. Maybe. I think I'm mostly caught up on comments. Yeah, I'm caught up on articles. Those were all the articles that I pulled out that somebody else sent me.
Yeah, I think Colby sent articles to us this time around. So
yeah,
he wasn't here to watch us talk about himself.
Yep. So, no, yeah, I just, I don't know, enjoying the stout, enjoying my top 10 cheap tequila.
All right, so, there was a comment I wanted to go back up. Oh, Colby, you're good. I did miss some stuff. Jared was mad about a 14 years somewhere. There's a comment back there I wanted to go back to, but
well, there was a bunch of. I put your freeze frame picture up for a while. You have to go back and look at that episode.
I will.
It's pretty special. Oh,
Okay, so Andy coming back to me. I'm going to go right back and get a few of these comments we had to talk about. So Andy got to join us tonight. He's over in North Carolina right now, but normally he's over here in Joplin by me. And we work together. Him and Patrick also worked together for a little bit as well, as Patrick and I did when we did DirecTV. And Andy went over to Big with me once or twice, and that is a heck of a great place. If you guys are anywhere vaguely near Norman, Oklahoma, which is right Oklahoma City, go in there and check them guys out. Just awesome dudes, especially for the owners there. They're going to sit there and talk to you about everything they do. They're just fantastic.
we got to get back over there. Well, I say we got to get back. I've never been, but I would like to go over there.
Yeah, no, I've been several times, and my work area just started including that again. So I will be heading over there actually next week. So I'm gonna be in that direction.
Monday next week.
Not Monday, because I made it very clear I've got to be with Patrick. So I already told the boss that wasn't going to happen. So, but Andy and I will both be over next week.
Nice.
Alvy, I heard Texas is terrible right now. So
yeah.
I heard all about it. The boss took the day off today because his pool kept freezing over, and he don't have a blanket for it, so he has to be out there breaking ice all day long.
Oh man, I gotta go break my little fountain. I've got my goldfish that are iced over right now. I'm having to break the ice off every day. My cattle are all fine. There's running water all over the farm. The stock tanks are not frozen over, but my goldfish that I paid $2.88 for are iced over. They're still alive. They just need a little oxygen. So I've been doing that. So,
Patrick, what was that?
I can tell you what it was.
Okay.
It was that.
Oh, okay. All right. That's
Yeah.
why I don't. Chad, I don't know if you already addressed this. A Neho, it means it's got to be aged at least a year. If it ain't 12 months, it can't be called a Neho.
What's the Blanco? Isn't it up to 3 months?
Blanco is not aged at all. I guess it technically could have hit a barrel, but it's not aged as such. It could basically right out of the tap. Reposado means it's going to go up to 11 months. So, but once it hits a year, you're at a Neho. The Neho is going to carry you up to a 3 years, at which point you'd be an extra Neho.
Yeah.
And then there's an ultra Neho, which basically still is 3 years, and we're not sure that it actually means anything. I think it's all marketing. So
yeah,
there you go.
Man, Jared, this is
I quit touching it. My bad.
we both have control over the comment section. We're just like pop, 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 pop. Like we're
we also both have about the same timing, so
we're Yosemite Samming the comment section. Yeah, no, so I think it was year before last. I went to Montana with my wife and visited her aunt and uncle, and I found myself at this dinner party talking to some cowboys up there, and like, man, they were telling me just like horror stories about like, you know, like the Montana winters and all the stuff they had to do to like keep the cows alive and all this stuff, and like,
ain't that where Brokeback was filmed?
Maybe.
There's horror stories, all right.
Well, I was gonna say like when I was talking to them, they're like, I mean, they were just going like nuts on all the work they had to do and how hard it was and all this stuff. And farmers, particularly cattle farmers, have a tendency to talk about how difficult it is anyway, and like that ain't that hard, but whatever. It's challenging. Every day's a new day, but you can do it. Anyone can do it. Anyway, long story short,
I got rid of most of my cows earlier this year just so I didn't have to break the ice because we was having such a rough time.
Yeah, but again, like you plan ahead, right? So like I've got freeze-proof stock tanks, and my pond very rarely freezes over, but I've got creeks. So like, I mean, like, but you put something in place so you don't have to do that. But these boys were talking about how difficult it was, and they did. I mean, I'm sure that they worked their ass off keeping those cows alive the whole time. But at the end of the conversation, They're like, so, I mean, like, how's it down south? And I was like, that's pretty easy down south. I think you should probably move. Like, we don't normally have that type of stuff. However, this right now, where we're at, is like, this is like Montana cold. This is, stuff's freezing over. This is not going to be pretty on these farmers. No.
As a kid, I remember having to go out there and break ice all the time. We'd have to go out there and stomp around the edge of the pond, and we actually had a concrete block tied to a rope, and we'd throw it, smash to the ice, and you drag it back, and you throw it, and smash to the ice, and drag it back, and then we broke the block, and then we tied on one of them steel fence post drivers, and we throw it, break the ice, and drag it. Anyhow, that's I remember doing that a lot. I mean,
you got to do what you got to do. But yeah, no, it's gonna be rough for the next week or so for cattle farmers. So,
Jared's,
myself included. This one. Yeah.
That sucks, dude. That sucks.
Nah, it's just brutal out there, and I will say that like back to being prepared. Not that we necessarily should be prepared, but it's like when Arkansas or Georgia gets like any ice or snow, right? They just shut down because they're not used to it. You got to know that the dairy farmers up in Wisconsin are just like having a bit of a chuckle right now, right? Because they all have like they're prepared for it. They've got barns to move their cattle into. They've got breaks, all that stuff. You know, we don't have much in here. Just shove them into the woods and try to keep an eye on them. So,
Jared, I never had a backhoe when I was younger, but I have drove the tractor and backed the truck off into the pond a few times to break ice, but fairly rare.
Man.
Yes, I've used an axe to chop ice. So, anyways, okay.
Yeah.
There's all right. Yes, Andy, you're 100% right.
Where in Carolina is Andy? You said North Carolina, right?
I've never been to Carolina, so... Yeah, North Carolina. Andy, that's up to you.
How close are you to Wicked Weed?
Been preparing for Up the Gut on Wednesday and just ranked the 32 current starting quarterbacks.
What?
And Derrick Henry didn't. That's what I was feeling about.
Derrick Henry is great. He deserves to make that. He deserves to make that list. Patrick, I'm disappointed in you.
Anyways, okay.
So that's coming up Wednesday, of the that's up
to
Guts
I guess we
ranking.
Give a few shout outs here just because it's been a minute since we've done it. If you get on Up the Gut, Wednesday nights usually about 6:30. Patrick gets on, and him and Ehlers talk about Matthew. Talk about.
You mean Archibald?
Archibald, yes.
Archibald.
Talk about football nonstop. So Matthew's on here several weeks ago with us, and Patrick's been on several times. If you enjoy football, go check them out. Patrick's got another podcast coming out as well.
Really?
Politically oriented, but oriented. It's oriented.
That sounds about right.
Offensive. Very offensive. Dickie's is another one I want to show about. Dickie jumps on here all the time with us. He's one of the first guys on. He's like waiting here. And Dickie also has been doing some live stuff, which I've not had a chance to catch. But I do try to watch his regular YouTube videos. And if you guys haven't went on Dickie's beer reviews, please go over and check him out. He does an awesome job over there. Super cool dude. And we like him a lot. What are you laughing at now? What I do?
I was trying to find. So we're on TikTok now because
no, we're not.
We're on TikTok.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know if Morgan's in the chat or not. She woke up the other morning, told me, she goes, "You guys ain't got no following on TikTok. You've only got 35 interactions." I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I was talking about.
Oh yeah, no. We're just on. It just cracks me up. No, it's not crazy. There's a few views.
We need to try shoot for the lamest old guy TikTok there is.
Oh no, absolutely. All right, so every we have 3 TikToks. 3. They've each got about 500 views. and about 47 likes total. So yeah, not a ton of action. But what I was cracking up about is I was trying to find it so I could bring it up on screen, and so I was.
We've probably got more views than that on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Or Saturdays. Deal.
What is this? So what I was laughing about though is I was trying to bring it up, and I was searching like TikTok taste bud guys, and here's what came up. Well, here, maybe I'll just share it.
Is this not the goofiest looking thing anybody's ever seen in their life?
Look what came up when I said TikTok.com/tastebud guys, and this is the first, or not the first thing, but the second thing we see.
That ain't us, right? That's not us.
No, that's not us.
We started this when we was drunk, but that's not us, right?
I like that 2 out of the 3 suggestions are us, and then they're also like, if you like taste bud guys, you might try dipping your testicles in what I assume I can only finish that with soy sauce. Oh, cracked me up, man. Cracked me up.
What the fuck? Jesus.
Oh, that's the weirdest TikTok challenge I've heard yet. Dip your balls in soy sauce.
All right, if you guys want to see that, it's going to cost more than $4 a month.
That's definitely a $25 Patreon membership. So, oh, speaking of Patreon, tomorrow. Oh, awesome. All right, I'll check that out. You said it's politics.
Chris can't dance, Patrick. It doesn't matter what you pay him. Chris can't do it. My kid has been trying to show me how to do that. What's the floss? I literally cannot do it.
No, yeah, that one's hard, and it's also like about 4 years too late.
Andy's currently in Charlotte, which I'm pretty sure there's some good beer in Charlotte.
So I went to Charlotte has a super cool open air market type situation. There's also a really, really good chicken restaurant in Charlotte.
Does either of them have beer?
The open air market does.
All right, we're going to mute him because he apparently don't know what this podcast's about.
What? What was that? I just got a notification that says the host has muted your mic. I'm like, motherfucker, like, I am the host. What is this? What is this bullshit? Nuts.
Yeah. Anyways, Andy, check out some of the breweries or distilleries around there. See if you can find us something decent and bring it back.
There's another car. I just keep waiting for someone to slide off on the ditch in front of my house.
You can't sneak up in Lyle's house. Lyle is like this with everybody that drives by. So, yeah. Lyle also has in front of his house, he lines his driveways with these little lights that look like little Smurf houses that apparently solar charged, that give us this real faint glow at the end of the night that I have run over every freaking one of them almost every time I leave. They're flat as it can be.
Oh,
all right,
man.
Sorry. We're done with that now. I'm over it.
Man, I lost my train of thought.
You started to say something about Patreon. You forgot already, so okay, we'll move on.
Oh, no, I remember now.
Oh,
tomorrow, our episode with number 1, Tequila, with our interview with Alex Raimundo. Man, I said that in the most redneck way possible.
Raimundo.
Alex Raimundo. I feel like he would appreciate that, though.
Well, he does have an album called Red Mexican.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And did he marry a gal from Missouri? I didn't want to.
He met her in Missouri. She's from. I actually think she's from Tennessee or South Carolina.
Okay, that doesn't make sense.
He met her while he was in Missouri.
Most of the gals in Missouri are either from Missouri or California. That's it.
I think I could have that. I don't know that much about Alex, but I believe that's what I've seen.
Okay, well, so tomorrow our episode we tackle the number 1 Reposado, which we had had on the show a couple of times, but we actually got to have an interview with Alex, who's one of the founders, along with Ron White, both stellar comedians, and yeah, it's pretty cool. So, episode's up tomorrow, and the full interview will be on Patreon shortly after, maybe a day-ish, but shortly after.
So here's how planned we are. Number one episode releasing in the morning. And if you're even if you're not on Patreon, Alex's interview is not behind a paywall. Go to our Patreon, you'll see it. If you're really in a good mood, you can pitch us $4 or $1 once, whatever you want to do. Throw it in there. We're also going to be putting up a poll while we're on the Patreon, so that we know how to spend the money that gets put up there, whether we're going to spend it all at once or on little bottles or save it for something big or whatever.
We've got not a ton of money to spend right now from our Patreon, but we've got about, what, $30-40?
Something like that. And we're going to pitch in extra if we need to as well, but we want your input so we know how to spend it. So
basically we're trying to decide whether we're going to buy like a $30 to $50 bottle with the Patreon money and do a review, or we're going to save it up and do like $100 bottle, or we'll save it up and do like something stupid,
$300 or just
$300, $400, $500, $600 bottle. Yeah, whatever it takes. And like I said,
so whatever you guys want to see us do, and whether it's tequila or bourbon or vodka,
and like Chris said, we're gonna pitch in and cover the remainder of the cost if it's not like stupid, right?
Yeah. Right.
Like if we have $40, don't suggest an $800 bottle.
Now, Patrick was supposed to be here tonight, so Wednesday night's episode, which was the throwback episode, which is one we've already shot, was supposed to be Dubious Claims Brewing, which was the first episode Patrick ever showed up on.
Yeah.
And then Thursday was, I'm looking at my phone. Thursday was, if I do it like this, it'll look more natural. Thursday is Bourbon 18, which is a bottle Jared gave us. And finally, on Saturday, we're going to have another Missouri can. This is from Little Lucy. This is also up by, I think it's also west of Missouri. Am I right?
No, I'm just trying to think. I did all the uploading and tagging on the Obon 18, and I was trying to figure out if I did already published it or not. Did I mess something up?
Well, I don't know. If you've already published it, it's already out.
I don't know. Who knows?
Oh, you know what? I think we did do them out of order because we needed something. I think you moved yours up, and I think maybe Wicked Pickle is going to be on this Thursday. So I'm probably wrong. I probably haven't updated Trello. So
I don't know. You do all the tagging, and you were gone down in Georgia having a good time at John Emerald, and yeah.
How you doing?
I don't know. I don't know what
all
I'm
right,
doing.
I think maybe Wicked Pickle Thursday then. So
okay.
Anyways, there you go. And we had a random, what would you call it? We decided we'd mix Wicked Pickle with George Dickel, and we had a Dickel Pickle.
Yeah.
Wicked Dickel. Wicked Dickel's what we called it. Drink.
I've been calling it Dickel Pickle.
Maybe it was Dickel Pickle. I don't know.
Dickel Pickle or Wicked Dickel?
Wicked Dickel Pickle?
Wicked Dickel Pickle.
Right. Anyhow, we had that, and I think we've got a problem with either we're missing an audio or camera, so we may reshoot that. I don't know. It's not
didn't we use the Tabasco Dickel, George Dickel?
Yeah, the Tabasco is what we put.
Yeah.
Tabasco. It was actually not bad. I remember that. It was the George Dickel with Tabasco, Wicked Pickle, and then we considered putting some bourbon in it to cut it, but it turned out it was fine without it. I think some tomato juice in it would have been.
I was going to say, we should consider some tomato juice. I think would be fantastic.
So we might reshoot that one because I don't think we've got all the right stuff to edit it anyways. It's probably going to get thrown up on Patreon. I don't know if it'll be behind the paywall or not. It might not. So,
yeah.
Anyways.
Oh, man.
All right. What else? Anybody? I'm off the comments section. I should be following them, but I'm not. So, Jared says 18's already out, so yeah, I'm probably looking at the wrong week then.
Yep.
So,
I don't know, man. That's about all I got. I got half a beer left and a fairly
Hey, you know
warm
what?
night.
I got half a beer left too. That ain't a regular sized bottle.
Yeah, buddy. I wish you. I was happy to see you drink that, but I wish I was there with you because that's a damn good beer. I like that one. I know you. I know it's not one of your favorites.
That's way more than I want to drink tonight. But it's fine. I'm going to drink it.
Too bad, bud.
They're not that. Yeah, it'll be fine.
What a horrible thing to have to finish the beer.
Right?
Oh,
well, I didn't even. Bam. I didn't even get to right there. I didn't even get to get my bourbon.
Yeah.
Actually, does anybody got any guesses what's in this?
See, I feel like that. I feel like that appears lighter on or darker on camera than it is in person.
It's Buffalo Trace colored, but there's no Buffalo Trace in it. I know that much. I actually do not remember what's in it.
Oh well, this is a pointless guessing game.
Yeah, I just fuck with you because there's probably 4 different kinds of bourbons in there.
It's like
the only one I know is there was Knob Creek in there is the first thing that went in to start it.
Okay.
There was some other stuff went in it. I know some Evan Black went into it.
Which, as we now know, is pretty tasty.
Yeah. I think there was some Old Crow went into it, which is not my favorite, but I believe I had some Old Crow that I jumped in there as well.
Huh.
And I just don't remember. I don't know. It's just kind of a whatever I have around goes in it.
We got to start tapping some of those budget whiskeys at the studio. There's some stuff that's better than we give it credit for.
Yeah.
Up there. So. All right. Anything else to say, bud?
I don't think so. I think we'll caught up on comments. Guys, thank you so much for coming along. Again, if you would consider joining us on Patreon, that's always helpful.
Yes.
If not, no worries. The show's going to keep going best we can do it. And thank you to Great Escape for the shirts. Great Escape Beer Works. Also the beer, which we're going to have them on a few times. What we're hoping to do is find some local breweries that's willing to give us 6, 12, 24, whatever they're willing to give us, and we're going to drink them until they're gone, mostly on the live episodes. So we'll kind of have some unofficial sponsors through that way until we find somebody that actually wants to sponsor the live shows. And maybe they don't. I don't know. I'm actually pretty happy with doing it, just random sponsors. I like that.
Well, here's
different stuff. So
I mean, here's the thing. If someone sponsors the show, right, we'll be still honest about whether we don't like it, but you'll have to know us a little more to know whether we're like, if we're like, this is, somebody will like this.
This is good.
This is up someone's alley.
Yeah.
Someone's. No,
well, probably if they sponsor, we won't be doing a lot of their stuff. We'll just be giving shout outs. So I don't think we'll be doing a lot of their stuff. But
no, I think that we generally don't hold much back in terms of what we like and what we don't like.
Yeah, I don't think there's no point in that.
That's an episode to keep your eye out for. An episode of Cedar Ridge, their bourbon, right? Which we were supposed to have. We're supposed to have a bottle of the Nog, the number 9, from Cedar Ridge, the Slipknot whiskey, come with Patrick. I believe it's coming next week.
Okay, so for those of you that's watching, if you look up the number 9 whiskey Slipknot's bourbon, we did on the road trip to Kansas City. Was not our favorite thing. I asked Patrick if he would bring that back down with him because he also don't like it. So he's going to bring it back down with it and said he would leave it with us. And I'm like, cool. So we'll get a chance. We'll try it again. I want to see if the fresh palate, if I still dislike it as much as we did before.
Yeah.
And then we've also had the Cedar Ridge's. Was it the bourbon or the wheated? We just said the bourbon.
I think it was the bourbon. The wheated whiskey is still up there to do.
Okay. So we've got Cedar Ridge's bourbon, which we actually enjoyed. So that was a pretty big difference.
That's the big spoiler, is that the first one we kind of weren't super nice about, and then we had the bourbon and we were like, all right, maybe not my favorite thing, but it's certainly palatable, and for someone with that flavor profile would probably love it. Yeah. I just did it again.
Yeah, so this makes a lot of sense. I remember not absolutely hating the number 9, but I do remember thinking it wasn't especially good. So there you go. Anyhow, we did a review of their bourbon. We've also have a bottle of their wheated, which we haven't got into. I would like to try that number 9 again. Give it a fair shot. Make sure, because it was right. Well, it was like the 3rd or 4th thing we did that night, so it wasn't very good yet. But anyways, whatever. So we'll give everything a fair shot. If I change my mind or he's changed his mind, we'll absolutely follow up with that. So,
all right. Okay. Well, until next time.
Whether it be all the glasses you're dirtying up,
the food you're eating,
clothes you're wearing, including the stuff that was given to you by Great Escape Beer Works out of Springfield, Missouri, over there off, what's the name of that road?
Lone Pine.
I can't think of it. Lone Pine Street. There you go.
Or the people you're meeting, grab a buddy and try something new. Guys,
see you guys.
See ya.
Thank you.
Stay warm. Have a good week.